There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone. Hello everyone and welcome to Sci-Fi Talk on the Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss shows on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm Sean, Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve, and tonight we'll be discussing episode 7 of season 3 of The Expanse.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to jump into this because it was like, wow. So jump in with our ratings.
Alright, episode 7 had a 0.17 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.625 million viewers, making it the 38th rated cable show for the day. The live plus 7 days for episode 5. Tied for 16th in viewers percentage gain, going from 0.556 to 1.111 million viewers for an increase of 100%.
Amazing.
Yes. Now we have some massive crossovers in this episode.
We had so many.
Yes.
I could not believe it.
We'll start with David Stratham, who plays Ashford, who's on the Behemoth. He was on Alphas. We have Ari Millen as Stanny, who was the third crewman on the repair ship.
I don't remember him from 12 Monkeys, though. I see you.
Yes.
You have 12 Monkeys and Orphan Black. Of course we know him from Orphan Black because he was Casper.
Right. Yeah, he had a brief appearance on 12 Monkeys as well.
Oh, okay. I missed it. And then one of our favorites who was talking with us when we were tweeting.
Yes.
Anna Hopkins, Anna Banana, if you're on Twitter.
Yeah.
Who played Monica Stewart from Defiance. Like, I kept looking at her going, wait a second. Like, I was able to, like, picture her character, but I couldn't remember the show until about halfway through.
Right.
I hate that.
And then we had one we hadn't seen in a long time, Janelle Williams, who played an unknown cast member, but she was the one that was talking with Anna before she got up and went to talk to Melba from Warehouse 13.
I love it. So many. And then a couple more. I mean, still.
Yes. Chris Owens, who plays Kovold, the guy Anna talks to on The Prince. Probably best known for playing Jeffrey Spindler on The X-Files. And I've got one that, so far, Fred has missed.
Uh-oh, Fred.
Yes. Raven Duda, who plays Anna's wife, was also on Orphan Black. She played Yvonne, Allison's counselor.
Oh my gosh. We obviously missed that too.
Yeah.
Because she'd been on an earlier episode. So I was about to ask you how many of these you'd caught yourself, because I only caught 2 of them right away.
Right. I thought we didn't really get a good shot of Ari, so I had to look at IMDb. I thought it was, but I just wasn't 100% sure, and sure enough it was. I went, okay.
I caught him right away.
Right.
Him and Anna Hopkins. I just couldn't place the show until about halfway through this episode. And I know I had seen the other people, but I couldn't think. I was just like, okay, it must have been one of the many shows we've watched. But this was an awesome amount of people that were crossing over.
Yeah.
So great.
Stream.
All right, let's jump into episode 7. Delta 5. It sounds so sci-fi.
Yes.
All eyes turn to the edge of the solar system as a mysterious new presence emerges. Naomi recommits to her roost. Drummer butts heads with a seasoned new commander aboard the Behemoth, and a young belter makes a name for himself. So, I do want to tell you, though, when we were watching this, you're talking about David
Stratham.
Thank you. I was like, I would mess up his name. Jason happened to walk in. He goes, wow, that guy looks so weird. I'm like, well, yeah, he's in makeup. I'm like, why? What are you talking about? He goes, oh, he's from the Bourne movies. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, he is.
Yep.
It's just so mind-blowing when they're in character and they're doing like an accent because we get the Belter accent.
Right.
And it really throws everything off. Because the Belter accent, I know it's like, we've talked about it before, the weird combo of like Cajun and a whole bunch of different things, almost slangish, and it just throws me when somebody's talking like that. But it was great, and I loved everybody in it. So let's start with the UN, though, because apparently we fast forward a couple months at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's like an uneasy alliance happening between Earth, Mars, and the Belters, because now the Belters have kind of created I wouldn't really say a government, but they're being recognized at least as a community in their own.
Right.
And so apparently we have a pretty big convoy headed out to see what this is that's close to Venus. And I am still not sure what it is myself.
Right.
And we have Avasarala, who seems to have raised up to, I don't know, not even Aaron Wright's, Gillis's position possibly, or higher.
Yeah, she could be the Secretary General. We don't know.
Kind of interesting, because I got worried for her, but I'm really glad that she's up there.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, and I say that very strongly, that she's going to keep her head on her shoulders and remember everything Holden has done.
Right.
And I say that because some shit's probably going to go down.
Yeah. Can count on that.
Right. And thankfully, Aaron Wright has been jailed as a traitor.
Yes. And Gillis has resigned.
Yeah. I still think Aaron Wright should have been. Treason is probably more than jail time, but whatever.
Yeah.
But
we make it to that.
Yeah, we'll get there. But Avasarala actually speaks to all of the people, and again, talking for unity, because of this unprecedented event. Which, yeah, we don't know what the hell that thing is.
No.
And speaking of unprecedented, the protomolecule has decided to go beyond. It's now this giant glowing ring.
Yeah.
And,
it's like the Stargate.
Right. And it was weird looking because obviously it had taken the ship. So it's protomolecule and, well, I guess this is gross. I didn't think about it till I'm about to say this now. People.
Yeah.
And like all the metal from the ship or ships.
And whatever components it deemed necessary.
Yeah. So weirdly, it's just kind of out there. It's like, okay, I don't know what this is going to be. Yeah, I didn't think about that it has people parts in there now, too.
Yeah.
Till just this moment. Wow, I think I'd have been better off not thinking about it. But let's go past that. Let's speed right past, shall we?
Yeah.
Speaking of speed, Steve.
Yeah, we have a young belter named Mineo, who's a real hotshot pilot, so he likes to break records and in his slingshot racing, and he slingshots past Jupiter and towards Saturn, and he records a message for his lady back on Circe. And, they're not talking about me anymore. Instead, they're talking about this stupid ring.
Now, really quick, is that the same thing that Julie Mao was doing? The slingshot racing, or was she doing a different type of racing?
I think it was a different type of racing.
Okay. I just couldn't remember. I thought you might.
And so, of course, he gets a message back from his lady, and we see that she's been shacking up with his brother.
Yes, we see it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bare naked backside.
Okay, and I'm sorry. All right, she sends him that, like, Dear John video message.
Yeah.
And then his brother, not completely naked, but whatever, walks past, and he's like, hey, bro, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Dude, no. I mean, it's bad enough that she's doing what she's doing, not just with you, but the fact that you're his brother, but sending, like, this Dear John, dude's out in the middle of God knows where, and you're gonna just be like, hey, bro, totally cool, what's up? No, not cool.
Right. So he turns his attention onto the ring, and, of course, that gets another transmission from his girlfriend, who has heard about his attempts to slingshot through it and has her all turned on.
Yeah, okay. Weird. And she decides to show him.
Yeah, how turned on she is about it.
Yeah.
So as he starts getting too close to the ring, the Hammurabi lets him know that he's in unauthorized airspace. Nobody is supposed to go near the ring without proper authorization. He says, screw you. He records a message for his girlfriend, cranks up his music, and heads for the ring.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. As soon as he hits it, we see the back of the ship still intact, but as he gets into it, he just disintegrates.
It was the most disgusting and awesome moment on this show.
Right.
Because it, like, stopped, and you've seen it multiple times, and it was the best special effect that I've seen.
Right.
It was gross, but it was awesome. And I do believe there were some swear words flying out of my mouth when that happened, because that was like the last scene. Just like, what the? Yeah, it's like, it was great though.
Yeah. What happened?
And this is so interesting because it looks like just a ring. So is it like completely sealed now and we just don't know? Is it invisible? What the hell has the protomolecule done?
Right. It could be a doorway that he went in the wrong way. It could be, who knows what it could be.
And
it may not have been activated.
Right.
The ring has to activate the insides for things to pass through it. Who knows?
Did we just piss it off? What's going to happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and then we go back, take it back to a little less anxious moments where we see the whole flotilla. I love that we're using that word too, by the way.
Yeah.
Of the ships headed towards the ring to observe because we're just all going to go check this out. And we have the UNN, the MRCN, the Belt, and the Rossi. What?
Of course.
I mean, I love that they're there, but what the hell are the Rossi doing there?
Right. We'll find out. On the UNN Thomas Prince, which has to be the sister ship of the Agatha King, because I thought they almost were on the Agatha King. And then I thought, no, they can't be it. Coach Yard blew it up.
Yeah, I'd say that went boom.
Yeah. But the CIC was exactly the same, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, aren't most ships supposed to be kind of in the same class, built the same?
You would think so.
Okay.
But
we're using the sets.
We've seen a lot of different MCRN ships, though. So I would think the UNN would have that many different types as well, but it's just like the Agatha King.
Yeah.
And we see Anna on board.
What the heck is she doing there? Is she in charge of something now?
Right. And of course we see her talking with Colvord, and they're debating whether the protomolecule is man-made or something more fantastical. And of course he's shocked to see a reverend participating in a mission of the scientific persuasion, but Anna responds succinctly that she can differentiate between the two.
Yeah, not everybody is like either or.
Right. And of course, she receives a video message from her wife who says that Avasarala's promise to help fund their medical clinic has been kept, but she's very afraid for Anna being that far out in space and that close to the ring, and wants Anna to come home soon.
And it seemed like it was a recorded message.
Right.
Because Anna didn't seem to be able to
really
respond.
Didn't reply
yeah.
to it, right.
Well, back over on the civilian side, we have service people who are going, a 3-person team, who are going to board the UNN, oh my gosh, Sing-Un, I think that's what it was, to do routine repairs. Now, I was a little confused, and I'm not sure if you can help me out with this. Was it an actual crewed ship, or was it like skeleton crew because it needed repairs? What was the deal with that? Because I thought at first it was abandoned.
Right. No, the Sing-Un was as a science ship.
Oh,
now, their little ship that they're on wasn't.
Okay. So this is when we have the 3-person team that we've seen. The young woman named Melba, who was dealing with her cohorts, older coworker, Ren, and Stan. And their attempts to be chummy and funny and rib the new guy, basically.
Right. And Stan, of course, flashes a picture of Holden, and we find out that she has a very deep-seated hatred for Holden and what he represents.
And I was kind of scratching my head with that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, and that immediately brought up, in my mind, this is not good. This is something Fred Johnson is plotting.
Or could it be somebody else with the OPA?
Oh, it could be, but I think Johnson and Dawes are
You think they're on the same, but you think they're on the same page? That's the bigger question.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, Melba seems very distracted, looking very tired and like something's really weighing on her. And of course, Ren, being the elder statesman, and he's like, oh, is this your first job? Don't worry, it's always the hardest. Stick with me, I'll tell you how everything works, it'll be fine. And she seemed to be okay, and she's like, okay, thanks, but she still looks kind of shaken up. And when he leaves, then we see why she seems a little shaken up. I'd be a little worried too, because she sets an explosive behind a panel, and I'm like, what the hell? Now that means she was carrying that on her person, so yeah, I'd be a little worried too.
Yeah.
But as they're finishing up the repairs and Red comes back to check on her and, she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I was just, a little nervous first time and all. And he notices there's a tool on the ground. And when he goes to pick it up, he sees that, and this was just really sloppy. I'm sorry. There was a huge, gouge in the panel that was obviously tampered with. And he decides to open it up and Melba's like, really wish you hadn't done that.
Right.
Because he sees it, and he's just like, well, you don't want to do this? We don't want to fight. I don't want to hurt you. And right when he said that, and she's kind of looking at him really hard, I'm like, oh, crap. I don't know. I don't think you're coming out of this, dude.
No, she kind of bites down on her jaw and goes Hulk, basically.
Yeah. I mean, lifted him up and, smashed his head into the wall. I was like, what just happened?
Yeah.
What is this girl on? I was seriously thinking it had to be some, super drug. And I'll tell you, online, though, the thoughts were that it's not a drug, that somehow she's, got protomolecule.
Yep.
I don't know, but it was unbelievable.
Yep.
She was...
I think this is the OPA possible version of the hybrid.
Oh, see, I didn't even think about that.
Right. That she's basically got a kind of an on-off switch that will inject some protomolecule into her on a short-term basis.
Ooh, interesting theory. See, I was just kind of thinking that it was just super drug, but that's even more out there because I forgot Dawes has those scientists.
Yeah. And Johnson has the sample.
Huh.
Thanks, Naomi. And speaking of Naomi, she is now the chief engineer on the Behemoth.
Yay, but wait a minute. Does that mean she's not coming back?
It sure looks that way.
I don't like that.
No. And of course, she's working under Captain Drummer as they try to make a name from themselves and they want to prove their worth to the inners. And we see her catch a pair of workers smoking some pixie dust, and she warns them not to let her catch them getting high on the job again. And of course, it's not Naomi's accent that we're used to. It's her old Belter accent.
That was so weird.
Yes, it was.
So I'm like, wait. I couldn't get used to it. It just felt so off to me.
Yes, it really did. And of course, Drummer calls her back to the deck because they've got to receive a delegation from Cersei's. And of course, we see Ashford, who is an acquaintance of Drummer's.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder. I'm sorry, because I'm like, is this more than just, OPA stuff? What is this?
Yeah, don't know. Mm-hmm. Don't have a clue what their past experiences are, but as usual, she maintains a tense, even confrontational relationship with him. But we also see another old friend, Diego.
I wasn't even sure he was still alive.
Yeah, but he was last seen helping Dawes smuggle the scientist off Tycho Station. So apparently Fred granted him amnesty, and now he's part of the Belter Navy. And Naomi is not real happy to see him again.
Nope.
And as they continue their rounds around the Behemoth, Ashford runs into a former acquaintance named Grigori who tries to attack him. So Ashford's past seems just a little seedy.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because they kind of like had that standoff, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, all good.
Right.
Head scratcher.
Yeah. And then a construction skiff malfunctions and the pilot isn't responding, so Naomi jumps in and tries to bring it back to dock. When they get him out of the skiff, he's dead.
Well, he was kind of doing hard G circles, so...
Yeah. And he also happened to be doing pixie dust.
It's true.
So, of course, Naomi confesses that she's seen him with the drug dealer earlier and never spoke up. The drummer's not mad at her, but she wants to know who the drug dealer is. She eventually finds out who it is and is preparing to space him.
That was interesting because they want to be legitimate. And
right.
Doing that does seem more outlawish.
Right. And Ashford pulls her aside and tells her they can't behave by their old brutal rules anymore. If they're going to be treated as equals, they got to start acting accordingly. And Drummer, of course, doesn't like this, but Naomi helps convince her that he's right. And, of course, Ashford then steps up and announces that if everybody will bring in their drugs, there won't be any more issues.
Yeah, we'll just leave this open, because we'll space your drugs instead of you.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll space your drugs, ... It's like, I'm going to leave that interpretation out there.
Right. And, of course, that just makes Drummer madder, and she says, that's not who we are, and stomps away.
Well, I get why she's mad, but, I mean, she has to understand what everybody's saying and doing.
Right. And, of course, Ashford questions Naomi as to why she's on this ship instead of the Rossi. And Naomi goes, I think this is our time for the belt to stand up. And Ashford suggests she communicate that with her captain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably going to go over like a lead balloon. But speaking of things that are going to go over like a lead balloon, we have a documentarian on board, the Rossi. And you have cameras floating around.
Right.
That's going to go over great. I am in shock that we had this. So we have Monica Stewart, who's on board the Rossi, interviewing Holden and the crew. And, of course, Holden is being Holden.
Right.
Basically dodging questions and very dry, semi-humorous responses. But if you haven't been around him, you don't know what's going on.
No.
And, of course, Alex he seems so enthusiastic about this. Why is he always so happy about everything? He's like our happy little puppy.
Right.
And
well, he's got to be glad that they still have the ship, and it's the company Monica works for put up the money to keep the Rossi from being repossessed, shall we say?
Yeah. But Alex like, hey, I got some info for you. We can talk. And our lady reporter is like, no.
Yeah.
And, of course, she decides, Amos seems brooding and far away. I should try talking to him. I'll try flirting first. And Amos again, no.
Yeah.
Poor
She
Amos.
says there's no record of him except for an Amos Burton in Baltimore who was a mob boss.
Yeah, which
What?
makes me go, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, he kept, trying to dodge what she was throwing, because I was kind of wondering, is there any possibility that could be him then, what she was talking about?
I think it's very possible that it could be.
And that's why he ran to way off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, again, super excited to show off his food.
New food this time.
Which everything is not real in it, but the love. Oh, Alex.
Mariner Valley Stroganoff.
Oh, Alex. And you know what? I feel kind of terrible because I have a feeling that Cass Anvar is probably like a real kick-ass chef. And they're like doing this to him on purpose.
Right. Now, of course, we see Bobby has rejoined the MCRN Marines, and she's chatting with Alex. And Alex thanks her for checking in on his family back on Mars. But he does tell her that Callista has filed for divorce, his wife.
I was sad. I really was. But at the same time, we knew this was going to happen.
Right.
And
yes,
I don't know. Wait, before you go on. Were you getting a vibe from Bobby, like kinda sorta hitting on Alex?
Just a little bit.
And do you think
Just like the last time when she said he was a little flabby. I don't know if that's just Marine talk that we really haven't seen that much from her, and that's why we're thinking that maybe it's something else. But everything we've seen so far with Bobby has been by the book and real rigid, and this is a whole different side of her.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like Alex was kind of clueless, though.
Yeah.
Alex, come on. We should ship them.
Yeah.
Oh, Albie. Anyway, so...
Yeah, Monica tries hitting on Amos.
Yeah, that's kind of funny, though, with Amos, I'm telling you.
Yeah, and then the cameraman.
I did not know what was going on with him.
Right.
I didn't realize he was blind, and that he had, like, things on his hand that he was seeing.
Right.
So I'm like, what is he doing? And then it dawns on me. And Amos just, the cameraman, I'm sorry. But he's like, oh, so do I have a shot? And Amos is like, kind of smiling. He's like, no.
Yeah.
Damn, Amos. You are hardcore.
So Monica tries to probe Holden, calling him out for denying his own heroism. And he says, well, I see what you're doing, and I'm not going to take that bait. Instead, he heads off to take a shower.
I'm kind of shocked she didn't, like, send a camera in.
Right. Monica tells her cameraman she thinks they've gotten some good footage. And later on, we see the cameraman searching around the Rossi unattended.
Yeah. What are you doing, dude?
Yeah. Looking around and tracking down the schematics of the ship, and the camera lingers on mechanics.
I don't know how he's even been, able to see any of that.
Right.
Like, I know that we found out when we had the other, was it the Martian Marines?
Right.
That it's locked out. So how is he able to even see it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's not good, that's for sure.
No.
And we see Holden heading back to his room, and all of a sudden he hears a familiar voice muttering aimlessly.
Oh, jaw drop.
You big one. Because it's none other than Miller.
I was not expecting.
What the hell?
We had talked about he had to be coming back soon, but I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like flashbacks or something.
And Holden closes his eyes in disbelief, and when he reopens them, Miller's disappeared.
Yes.
You go, is this all in Holden's head?
And then it's like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, too many weirdness. Yeah, I was just like, what?
Yeah.
It was a great episode, though.
Yes, it was.
And we do have to say, Miller, with the hat.
Yes.
He had to have the hat. Okay. I want to know what this means. Steve, did we get feedback on this?
Did. We've got some feedback from our friend Fred in the Netherlands, so let's take a listen.
Hello, Fangirl Zone podcasters. This is Fred from the Netherlands with some feedback for The Expanse Season 3, Episode 7. Last podcast, my feedback was written. Instead of following the episode, I gave some comments, predictions and questions about each character. A few of my predictions came true for once, and I'm going to quote myself here. What I wrote was, Holden will bring Avasarala back to Earth, but he also has to do something with that jellyfish coming from Venus. Well, as I understood, that jellyfish became the ring, and Holden is on his way to the ring. Next prediction. Prax can't have May and the other kids in the middle of a war zone. He probably will not abandon May once more. He has to go to someplace safe with her. And he did. Amos is just that guy. I predicted he will go wherever Holden will go. Well, that's true. Next prediction, Alex wants to go to Mars and see his son. But he probably will have to do some piloting first. Well, if he will come to his son, I don't know, but he wants to, and he stays on the Rocinante. Next prediction, Bobby has to heal from her bruises. She will remain the bodyguard of Avasarala until there is peace between Earth and Mars. Only then she will go back to Mars. Well, there is peace, and she is back on Mars. The only thing is it happened much quicker than I expected. Aaron Wright, I would be disappointed if he is going to play a major role from now onward. so I don't think we see him. Same is true for the Secretary General. I predicted eventually the population will see who he is and will turn against him. The question is whether Avasarala is nearby. If not, he probably will be lynched. Next prediction. Drummer will bring the Navoo to Tycho. Perhaps this big ship will play a role in the encounter with that big jellyfish. Well, we still have to see that. Other prediction. Julie Mao and Miller. Perhaps they both will be reassembled somehow. Well, question is place this all in Holden's mind? Or did we really see Miller coming back? And perhaps even Julie Mao. Some of my predictions did not come true. I said, I think Jules Pierre Mao will still play a role, perhaps in some connection to Julie. I don't think she or her spirit is completely gone. Well, same is more or less true for Miller. I wonder what will happen to Jules Pierre Mao. We didn't see him in this episode. And by the way, Avasarala is not talking about him in her speech, only about the Secretary General and Ehrenreich. This could be an extra indication there is a future role for him. I don't know what will happen to Anna. If you ask me, she just can go home. Well, and actually she wants that. Okay, I have some, because I like that, actor crossovers. The actress Anna Hopkins, who is playing Monica Stewart, the annoying reporter. We know her from 20 or more episodes of The Defiance, where she plays Jessica Rayner, also called Berlin. The funny thing is that when she first appears in The Defiant, she also plays a military annoying reporter from the Earth Republic. Next crossover is Ari Millen, who of course plays all the Castor clones in Orphan Black, and here he is Stani on the little spaceship, who is going to do the repairs at the end of the episode. And last crossover is Commander Klaus Ashford, is played by David Strathairn, who plays Dr. Lee Rosen in Alphas. And I started watching Alphas because Tatiana Maslany has a guest role for one episode in it. Unfortunately, this series got cancelled after a terrible season 2 cliffhanger. Okay, about this episode. They really took a big step forward and skipped a lot of stuff. We don't see how Avasarala got the Secretary General to resign, and we didn't see how Prax and May got to Ganymede. We didn't see how Naomi landed up the Navoo, now called the Behemoth. We only saw a fraction of how the big jellyfish from Venus became the ring. I really had to look several times. It was a quite darkly filmed scene. As I understood it's technical as well as biological in nature. It surely looks like a kind of portal now. At first I didn't understand where they wanted to go with the story of Maneo, or Neo as his girlfriend calls him. Of course, later he is the one that tries to fly through the ring with his slingshot spaceship called the YQ. It was, by the way, a typical man has a hobby, girlfriend feels neglected situation. Well, boys will be boys. And last but not least, hooray, Amazon is going to take over the show from SyFy, and we will get a 4th season. Greetings, all the best, Fred from the Netherlands.
Alright, Fred. At least you're not saying how I'm a pain in the butt. But okay, let's talk about this, because, yeah, you were right. But
yes.
We're very happy we still haven't seen Ehrenreich. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes. He can rot in jail for all I care.
And Fred did talk about all the crossovers, which Steve and I did discuss at the beginning, because I'm surprised you didn't get that one, though, that Steve caught. I don't know, you're slipping, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe you didn't catch it, because it took how many episodes before you caught it, Steve?
Right, yeah, it took quite a few. I had to actually look in IMDb and say, oh, well, let's just click and see what all these actors have been in. And I went, oh, crap!
So let's talk about, for a second, how he's saying, which now is a ring, is both technological and biological. So kind of like you were saying, like it could be kind of Stargate-ish. It could be a portal.
Right.
But what could possibly come through the portal? since we have no idea where the protomolecule came from. And,
Right.
I mean, how long it took to even get here. So could this be kind of a, express door for other protomolecule things?
I think it's very likely that it's got to be.
I'm not cool with this.
Well, it depends if it wants to take over our universe or just want to get its pieces back.
It can take everything because I don't trust it.
You're right.
Yeah.
You can have it back.
And really, Fred, typical man hobby. What would you say his brother was doing then? Yeah. Not a hobby, but yeah, I get what you mean. Like, basically, he's gone. What we're seeing with Mineo is that he's gone for extended period of time because we've seen that with his beard growth, unless he's got a super beard. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, I get it. It's like, oh, she was feeling neglected. I think it was more than that because it's like, okay, I'm going to go do this. I'll be gone for a couple months. And it's not necessarily like he's getting paid. It's not a job. It's something he's doing because he, like you said, it's a hobby. He's just trying to make a name for himself. But it was still crappy what she did.
Yeah. And probably more so that the brother was involved.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with that 100%.
Yeah. And yes, we are extremely excited that Amazon has picked up season 4 of
apparently
Expanse.
Bezos was a big fan of the book, and he was actually in the running to get it originally.
Wow.
So I don't know how true that is, because some of the stuff that flies around, like, oh, he had said blah blah blah. But we're excited either way. So I'm glad. See, I told you, Fred. Hold out a little hope. Something good could happen.
Yes.
It's one out of how many shows at this point, but Steve and I have felt a whole lot of disappointment. And if you've listened to us before, Jess and I even more so. So
Yes.
when one of them gets renewed, we're super happy. So it's happening, and yay. Thank you so much, Fred. You're amazing as always, sending us awesome feedback. And
Yep. Can't wait to hear your next set of feedback.
All right. So what do you guys think it means? What's happening? Oh my God. So shoot us an email with your own tinfoil fedora on and let us know at sci-fi talk@fangirlzone.com. What do you think it means with Miller back? And is he actually there? Is Holden losing it? What's going to go down with the Rossi? And does this have anything to do with that little bit of protomolecule that was somewhere on the ship? But while you're at that, please rate and review us on iTunes and every other forum you find us on, because good ratings and reviews help other fans of the show find us. Tell your friends. We do help you enjoy the show and the podcast, and I hope you're getting everyone addicted to the show because we're getting another season. Yay!
Yes.
And while you're at it, if you feel like it, check out our website, fangirlzone.com, because we have a lot of cool stuff over there too. So, for this episode of Sci-Fi Talk, I'm Sean Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve, and I don't shit where I eat.
And until next time,